Makinig ka! My out of order is all about your manifestation to straighten out. Patapusin mo ako!
Yes, sir.
Huwag ka mga bastos. Allowed.
Your Honor, I am going to
I am
be in this chamber and I am submitting myself before the country in protest. My constitutional rights are violated in this committee. I'm sorry to say, let me be detained in this chamber and decided in contempt. I will not participate if my constitutional right will not be guaranteed. You are not here
Mr. Chairman,
to decide for my constitutional rights.
Let me finish.
There's a point of order, the Honorable.
Let me finish. What I'm saying, I am not telling you to stop. What I'm saying is, my out of order. Sandali.
To the answer that I should be giving to the Honorable Congressman will settle everything and clarify before the nation a very important statement that I want to make. Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed, please?
Before I allow you, I'd like to remind everyone that your oath has been administered in the last session, and this will continue up to today. So, you're under oath. Wala kung sabihin po natin ay ang katotohanan. Okay.
Can I proceed, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, you may.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Honorable ako.
meron pong katanungan si Honorable Suarez, di po ba?
Opo.
Di man sagutin lang ng resource person or witness yung katanungan mo na.
Okay.
Tapos siya mag-explain.
The resource person.
Thank you for the reminder, Congressman Ako, sir. And to the members of this committee, I feel, and it is my right to state before this committee and the August Chamber of Congress, that this committee is not above the law. No one in government is above the law. We are a government of laws. I am protected under the Soto law. I have the constitutional right. I requested per record that I may be given competent advice and assistance of a legal counsel, and such right is guaranteed by the Constitution. And such right is also stipulated clearly in Section 12 of the Governing House Rules pertaining to committee hearing and conduct of investigation. And even if I am not in a court trial, the right to seek out counsel advice and assistance from a counsel is a part of principle of due process, a principle guaranteed by the Constitution. And I believe before I answer any further question, may I manifest respectfully and humbly before this committee that all the statements, even after under oath, in the absence of competent legal advice and assistance previously, may be granted to be stricken off the record because I believe my constitutional rights were violated.
Point of order.
Yes.
The answer manifestation of Mr. Ceres is out of order. This is out of order because you cannot dictate this house and you cannot move. Only members of you ask members of this house.
Yes, I am explaining.
No.
I am not moving.
No, your manifestation is out of order.
I am
Do
requesting.
not lick your ass
No, I am
about
not
the rules
lecturing.
of this.
I am standing up for my right. I am standing up for my right.
Remember, we might cite you in contempt.
Then so be it, Your Honor.
You challenge us?
Yes, if that will be seen in the nation na walang karapatan ang mga invited guests dito na magpahayag, Your Honor, with due respect to you, I do not believe na ang kongresong ito ay lalabag sa karapatan ng mga
Mr.
bayan.
Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
I'm
So be it, Your Honor.
out of order. And what's the position of the chair?
I will need, Mr. Chairman, I will not give up my right to free speech and be respected under the Constitution because this August Chamber is obligated by law.
Sandali lang po.
Mr. Chairman, may I explain why I...
Yes, the Honorable Ako is recognized and I understand yung sinasabi po ni ng ating mga ng ating bisita. Pero alam po ninyo, last, kung ang ginagamit niyo po ay yung hearing nung huli at wala kang representasyon, hindi po namin kasalanan. Kasalanan po ng mga abogado ng SMNI dahil sila mismo on record ang nagsabi na they are here to represent SMNI and not the actors, because yung distansya nga ko sila. Ang sabi nila, hindi po namin trabaho ang bigyan ng representasyon ang angkor. That's why nung humingi po kayo, ang pinaliwanag ko, hindi po pwede sila magdepensa sa inyo. Dapat po humingi kayo ng iba. Dahil hindi po pwede sila magdepensa because they are on record. Under oath, ang sabi nila, kami abogado ng SMNI at hindi kami abogado ng mga angkor. Klaro po yan, Kyrie. At you cannot, you're not allowed. I'm going, yes.
I would just like to explain why I cite him as out of order. Because he manifested that the previous records, it is taken out of records. And as resource person, they are not allowed.
Your Honor, I am going to be in this chamber and I am submitting myself before the country in protest. My constitutional rights are violated in this committee. I'm sorry to say, let me be detained in this chamber and be cited in contempt. I will not participate if my constitutional right will not be guaranteed. You are not here
Mr. Chairman,
to decide for my constitutional rights.
Let me finish.
There's a point of order, the Honorable
Let me finish. What I'm saying, I am not telling you to stop. What I'm saying is, my out of order. Sandali, makinig ka. My out of order is all about your manifestation to straighten out. Patapusin mo ako.
Yes, sir.
Huwag ka may bastos.
Hindi ako bastos.
Patapusin mo ako. Mr. Chairman, I would just like to correct. I am not stopping him to issue statement. What I'm saying is, and what I'm pointing out of order is the manifestation that the previous statement, the previous record, should be taken out of order. And under rules, he's not allowed to do it.
Point of order.
Yes, the Honorable Dan Fernandez on the point of order.
Maybe remind the resource speakers and the members of this committee to observe the proper decorum.
Correct.
If the chairman acknowledges a certain personality, let him speak and
Yes.
don't interrupt the members of this committee while the member is given the right to speak. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, the Honorable Dan Fernandez. Honorable ako, is recognized.
Mr. Celis, please be reminded that in this committee and this house, we have rules to follow. Hindi po ba namin sinusunod yung mga rules? Matanong po nga ako.
Yes, sir. I feel that is my...
I would like to remind you that these rules are supposed to be followed by members of this committee and by the witnesses or resource persons to be present. And one of these rules is that before you can speak, you ask permission from the chairman. Kami nga, hindi kami nagsasalita na walang permission yung chairman. You better follow that rule. Otherwise, baka mapilitan akong gawin yung hindi ko dapat gawin. Thank you.
The Honorable...
Mr. Chair,
Yes. Wait, I think the Honorable Ace Barbers.
I was raising a point of order earlier, but
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you that.
it's okay,
My
Mr.
apologies.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman, kasi gusto ko lang i-refresh yung memory ng ating resource person na no one is curtailing your right. In fact, kaya ka nga nandito, binibigyan ka ng panahon, ng oras para magsalita. But do not play to the crowd saying that your rights are violated in this committee. It's not. Tayo ay nasa demokrasya, di ba? I believe you were a former member of the NPA.
Yes, sir.
Di ba? And alam mo kung ano yung pinaglalaban natin dito, di ba? So, never, ever insult the committee, much more any of the members of this committee. Kasi medyo yun ang affront. Yun ang affront sa amin. And do not challenge us to do what we feel is right to do to you because you might not like it. I'm just going to remind him of that, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
The Honorable Ace Barbers. Any other member that would like to speak?
I believe that this is an equal in need of legislation, and resource persons should be reminded that they should observe proper decorum. I'd just like to remind all the resource persons that under Section 11, this inquiry, or for that matter, Congress has the power of contempt. The committee may punish any person for contempt by a vote of 2/3 of the members present, there being a quorum. And there are 6 grounds for contempt, one of which is letter E, acting in a disrespectful manner towards any member of the committee or any misbehavior in the presence of the committee. So, Mr. Chair, we do not want to cite a resource person for contempt. Kaya nakikiusap kami sa iyo, Ka-Eric, na kung pwede, please respect this committee and observe proper decorum. Nasa rules po natin na you cannot speak if you are not recognized by the chair. Actually, naka-strike 1 na po kayo, Ka-Eric. Kanina, you were not recognized by the chair but you kept on talking. So again, may I advise Ka-Eric, we are not suppressing your rights, but also respect this committee and observe proper decorum.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, if I may continue.
Well, there was a question raised by the Honorable Suarez. Alam po ninyo, Kyrie, kung meron po kayong karapatan, may karapatan din pong committee. Lahat po tayo may karapatan dito. So, ang tanong ko, yes or no? May tanong ko si Congressman J.J. Suarez, huwag na po natin pabain. Yes or no?
I will refuse to answer, Your Honors, not because I disrespect this committee, but I will invoke my right guaranteed by the Constitution because I believe this committee cannot be above the law, especially the Constitution.
Can I just
Honorable
raise
J.J.
a
Suarez.
what right is that you are invoking, Mr. Celis?
The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights guarantees me for the guarantee of due process and even the so-called law and even the House rules. Constitutionally guaranteed rights, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, cannot be violated by any branch of the government.
Kyrie, may katanungan. Executive, alam po ninyo, Kyrie, meron ba kayong kasamang abogado na yun?
May I answer po? That's why I am requesting since last hearing that I may be given the counsel na I will hire.
Alam mo, if you keep going back, last niya, tanong ko na yun.
I will hire Attorney Mark Tolentino and Attorney Rolex Soplico as my personal choice.
Okay.
To do
So,
legal counsel.
everything that you say now is guided by your lawyer. Who's also here.
Not yet, sir, because they are not, Mr. Chairman, permitted and granted authority to be recognized as my legal counsel. That's why I'm requesting.
Who is your lawyer this evening?
I'm hiring today, this afternoon, Attorney Mark Tolentino and Attorney Rolex Soplico.
Are the lawyers accepting that mandate? Because remember, in the last hearing, you manifested that you are not representing Kahiri and others because of the disclaimer issue. I'm accepting your honor. Attorney Ronnie Suplico.
I am accepting your
Okay, so thank you very much. So everything that you say, all the no, Kahiri, may abogado na po kayo. Yes or no?
May I request again, Congressman Honorable J.J. Suarez to rephrase the question, please.
Now, with the presence of your lawyer, it's just a little bit ironic that in the past few days you've been on air talking about the hearing, talking about your opinions on about the hearing, and together with Attorney Mark Tolentino, I think there was a few episodes na magkasama pa kayong dalawa. So you're very vocal and you're very opinionated about your position. And last hearing, I just want to remind you, you apologized to the committee because the statement that you issued in your show, kasama ang bayan, tama po ba yan? Laban kasama ang bayan. Humingi ka man ng paumanhin dahil yung sinabi mong 1.8 billion ay walang katotohanan. Sinabi niyo yun. Ngayon, sinabi mo ang source mo ay galing sa Kongreso. Sinabi ko mula sa House of Representatives, ang sabi niyo po ay hindi po House. Dalawa po yung House, Congress at Senate. Sinabi niyo, kinonfirm niyo na lalaki na taga-Senado. Ngayon po, naglabas na po ng statement, mismong Senate President na ang nagsasabi. Hindi lang ito nanggagaling sa amin, although I am pressing hard that I want you to reveal that source because we want to find out the truth. Mr. Senis, the truth. And nothing is more important than the truth. So, I'm asking you nicely, who is your source?
May I qualify, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to speak?
Yes, but before that, I'd like to remind you and the lawyers that under Section 13, the participation of counsel in this hearing for the witness during the hearing and while the witness is testifying shall be limited to advising the legal rights of the witness. Is that clear? Attorney Tolentino and Attorney Subico.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
That we all limited to that. Wala ko tayong coaching dito ha. Yes. Kyle.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the recognition. Congressman Suarez, sir.
Please answer straight
Yeah.
directly ha. Wala ko tayong paligoy-ligoy na sagot ko dito.
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
can I give something?
Yes.
Thank you.
Order.
Yeah. No,
Go ahead.
no,
Please.
just want to be enlightened, what is the decision of, what is your decision regarding the prior motion made by Congressman Nagkagulo?
Well, there's a motion. Point of order.
No.
He will only the point of order. So, he was declaring him out of
Thank you,
order.
thank you.
Thank you. Yes, proceed. Yes or no?
Yeah, thank you po, Mr. Chairman.
Please answer directly ha. Huwag tayo masyadong
I will not answer it because I am protected by law as per advice and conference with my lawyers here. I am protected by the SOTO law. Unless the SOTO law is repealed, I will be under the protection of the SOTO law. Republic Act number 53.
Mr. Chair, okay.
And the previous statements made, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, please, were made without the competent advice of legal counsel. That's why I was requesting humbly for this honorable committee chaired by Congressman Tambunting that all those testimonies regarding the testimonies I made here can be stricken off the record if it may be considered as a request.
Okay.
Because those are inadmissible.
Ano kung, may tanong po ko, balikan nyo, lagi nyo sinasabi Sotolo. Ano pong portion ng Sotolo ang tinutukoy po? Anong particular provision sa Sotolo? Pakibasa po.
I will, Mr. Chairman, I will request my counsel to give me the particular provision or they may be allowed to reference the particular
We are
provision.
requesting you.
I don't have the copy of the SOTO.
Then I will suggest that the council give him a copy of the Sotolo. Because we do not, you're only supposed to, like I said earlier, hindi mo kayo pwede magsalta. Yan magsalta si Kyle.
Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to read the pertinent provision from the SOTO? Without prejudice, this is section 1 of 11458 as amended. Without prejudice to his inability or ability under the civil and criminal laws, any publisher, owner, or duly recognized or accredited journalist, whether reporter, writer, contributor, opinion writer, editor, columnist, manager of media, or other media practitioner involved in the writing, editing, production, and dissemination of news or mass circulation of any print, broadcast, wire service organization, or electronic mass media, including cable TV, television, and its variants, cannot be compelled to reveal the source of any news item, report, or information appearing or being reported or disseminated through other or the said media which was related in confidence or reported in confidence. Above mentioned media practitioners, unless the court or the House of Representatives or the Senate or any committee of Congress finds that such revelation is demanded by the national security of the state.
Your Mr. Chairman, can I explain the provision?
I will have to answer first the position raised by the witness. Ang unang sinabi nyo, accredited journalist. Kayo po accredited journalist. Eric, kayo po ang tinatanong ko. Kayo po ba accredited journalist?
The accreditation or the license to practice journalism does not require any particular organization or government entity to give us license or accreditation for broadcast. If you are referring, Mr. Chairman, to KBP, membership to KBP is voluntary. KBP is not an absolute regulatory power for broadcast.
So,
they are like an NGO and private organization.
Ano pong basihan nyo, basihan ng provision niya, nung sinabi niya kailangan accredited, kayo nag-decide ng batas, kayo nag-decide ng prohibition.
Mr. Chairman,
Accredited journalist, hindi ko kayo, sino dapat mag-accredit sa inyo?
Smni is an accredited and franchise-granted media. And therefore, the prerogative in the decision for editorial decision who can broadcast or cannot broadcast in their station rests with the franchise granted to them. Therefore, hindi po kami required na maghingi ng pahintulot sa gobyerno na mag-broadcast kami doon dahil kami po ay bahagi ng isang media organization na may legitimate existence as granted by franchise.
Yes, but remember, may disclaimer din na, kung yan ang gagawin na agreement ko, may disclaimer po last hearing yan. Ang sabi ng SMNI, hindi po nila pananagutan ang gagawin nyo. At hindi na nga raw kayo empleyado, sabi nila. So, ergo, hindi ko namin agad-agad kaya tanggapin yung inyong mungkahi. Pakalawa, I would like to remind you that this is a house inquiry which is provided for by the Socolo. And third, katanungan ko, security of state, binanggit nyo. Ano po ibig nyo? Ito po yung security of state. Tingin nyo itong issue ko, which is a exception.
Ang 1.8 billion na pagtatanong ko po, Your Honors, Mr. Chairman, ay hindi po threat to national security. Kapag ito po ay tinatanong ng mga media practitioners at ng mamamayan patungkol sa tamang pangangalaga sa pundo ng bayan. And I believe Congress is not exempted from public transparency and accountability in the disposal of public funds.
Alam po ninyo,
That is not an issue of public national security.
Yes. Alam po niyo, alam po niyo yung security of state sa amin. Ito po yung sinabi niyo na empleyado ng Senado ang nagbigay sa amin. Yan po ay seguridad ng ating institusyon, seguridad ng ating bayan. So kaya po, ito po ay hindi nyo po pwede i-cite ang Sotolo. Mabuti po, malaman nyo na po ang posisyon. At ito, pinag-aralan po natin, abogado po kayo, hindi po kami mga abogado rito, may mga researchers po kami. At ang Sotolo ay hindi po applicable dito sa sinasite mo. Sa tatlong tinanong po, pare-pareho, hindi po pwede yan. The Honorable J.J. Suarez, you are recognized.
So thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So let's just go back to points that have already been established. Number one, the statement that you issued was false.
Salamat.
You admitted it and you apologized for it last hearing. Number two, you mentioned that your source is from Senate. And Caselis, Mr. Celis, the law that you have just stated that you sought to use to protect your right and not to reveal your source apparently has been ruled cannot be applied. So therefore, I'm asking you again, dahil may kinalaman na ito, may mabigat po ang kinalaman ang repercussions nito. You're talking about interparliamentary relationships between the House of Representatives and between the Senate. And none other than the Senate President has already issued a statement about this. So I don't think you see the gravity of the statements that you have issued between both houses in Congress. Now, Mr. Celis, for the last time, please identify your source.
Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to answer?
Mr. Chair, this is the fourth time I asked Mr. Celis this question. And every time I asked him this question, ang laki ng introduction, wala pa rin yung sagot. Pwede po ba this time, pag pinagbigyan natin siya magsalita, sabihin niya na po yung pangalan?
Kasi kung mag-introduction lang kayo, tapos i-cite na naman, dinisalaw ko na. Sabi ko na hindi namin kayang tanggapin yung for this particular issues, and we provided the basis for that too. Sa mga bilikas yung provision, doon ko mismo hinugot ko yung argumento namin. Ngayon, kung hindi ko yung sasagot, we will not allow you anymore. Kasi, nag-request na si David, si Congressman Suarez ng kasagutan, pangalan ang kailangan niya.
Mr. Chairman,
Magbibigay pa po kayo mo ng pangalan o hindi?
may I request that I be allowed to confirm in my legal counsel, please?
O they're right beside you, they can confirm.
May I